Thanksgiving weekend 1942 was just like Thanksgiving weekends now. People had come from all over the country to come home to the Boston area to celebrate the holiday. And we're here today in the Bay Village neighborhood of Boston on the site of the Cocoanut Grove Nightclub. That Saturday, 1942, November 28th, was one of the worst nightclub disasters in American history. Many people came to the most popular nightclub in Boston, the Cocoanut Grove. About 1,000 people were here that night. Unfortunately, the capacity was only 460. And as the night wore on, the bar in the basement, called the Melody Lounge, had a small fire that quickly spread through the flammable decorations, became a fireball that shot up the staircase into the main nightclub. And as people smelled the smoke, they started to make a dash for the exits, which unfortunately were just one revolving door and a couple of doors that only pulled inwards. So as people pushed forward trying to get out, many of them were trapped. It's sadly 492 people died in that awful fire that night, November 28th. To this day, on the site, people do still have ghostly encounters. Currently, on the space that was the Cocoanut Grove nightclub, there is now the Revere Hotel, and many people claim to see ghosts of the victims wandering the halls, some of them in singed clothing. Across the street at Jacques' Cabaret used to be a warehouse where many of the victims were kept as a makeshift morgue that night. One of the bartenders at Jacques has claimed that he one night was closing up, turned the lights off, and saw rows of these victims along the walls. Of course, he quickly turned the lights on, and there was nothing. But it is sad to say that it's possible that some of the victims still remain here on the site of the Cocoanut Grove fire. That's today's Ghastly Dispatch. We invite you to follow our Life and Death YouTube page for updates on future dispatches. And of course, we'll be here tomorrow with another story.